Bat houses are a good idea for 3 reasons. First, bats eat tons of insects. One bat by itself eats 2,000 to 5,000 insects every single night. Another reason is you might like bats. So you might want to put up a bat house just so you could see bats. Bats fly out about 15 minutes after sunset, and you can watch them fly around eating tons of insects. The third reason is you might have bats living in your attic. You might have them living behind your shutters. You might have them living underneath your siding. And bat houses give bats an alternative place to live. Bat house designs come in a variety of sizes and designs. One of the things that you want to keep in mind is that small spaces are important for bats. This is a tall, thin design, one single chamber, but the bats land here on the screen and go up inside to stay protected from predators. Those small spaces keep them protected from things like large birds, raccoons, or even cats. A concrete composite could also be made and actually incorporated into a house, your own house construction. The bats land here and go up inside, stay protected during the day while they sleep. Another great design that you might want to build is called a post design or a rocket box. And what this design does is it allows bats to enter from 4 different sides. And as the bats are inside the bat house, they can move around. It's a little bit more natural, similar to the loose and peeling bark of a dead tree. You'd put this on the top of a pole about 14 to 18 feet off the ground. What you don't want to do is you don't want to build or buy a bat house that looks a little bit like this. And the reason is that this is too open. Those large spaces allow bats to be eaten by predators, and moms would never raise their babies inside here. These smaller houses are also a little bit too small for a maternity colony. The landing area is smooth, the bats couldn't land, and this small design is more like a birdhouse without a bottom. Don't make or buy one of these. We're going to build this bat house right here, and this is about as small of a bat house as I recommend. You want to make sure that it's got this landing area, small spaces, and we're going to build a bat house next. This is a simple single chamber bat house. They could be made 3 chamber, 5 chamber, or even 20 chambers if you want to build a really big one. Most people in their backyards probably only need a single chamber bat house. So what we're going to look at here today is this bat house is made out of both plywood and cedar. Both great materials to build a bat house. This is a full sheet of plywood, exterior grade plywood that's going to be on the back. Now I've already went ahead and stapled on the mesh that goes on here, and this is what the bats hold on with their toenails. We're going to use cedar siding, and it makes it a lot easier for the bat house to be put together. Now that's angled, and including the front top piece is also angled so that the roof will be angled, and when it rains, the water will run off. Again, we've got mesh put on the inside. You could also cut grooves or score the inside with a knife, and that will also help to make holes or notches for the bats to hold on to. So that front is going to go right on here at the top. All right, you want to make sure you use good high quality screws, and this is important because you don't want the bat house to warp, and you don't want it to be too drafty as well. Baby bats need to be kept really warm, and we need to make sure they're also kept dry as well. So we've got the screws set in. I've already pre-drilled the holes, so now I'm just going to go ahead and set those screws in. We're making sure that it lines up so that the angles are all going to be consistent. The next piece you're going to put on is the lower front portion. And the lower front portion also has a predator guard on the inside. This is about a 3/4 inch piece of wood, and that allows the bat house space at the opening to be much smaller, only about 3/4 of an inch. And that's really important for all the bats in North America to stay protected from predators. So this also will go right below here, and we're going to leave a little bit of a gap, about 1/4 of an inch, and that helps so that the bat house has a little bit of ventilation towards the bottom. It's going to be warmer towards the top and cooler towards the bottom. We're going to set the screws in the same way. Now that you have the front built, you have the mesh on the inside, and we're going to run a line of caulk on the inside to help keep the bats warm and dry. Now we've got it caulked up, and then we're going to lay that front piece flat down. And then we're also going to run a line of caulk on the back. Set your back piece with your mesh on the inside, down on top. We're going to set the screws into the back now, and this is going to keep the bat house nice and tight. It's okay if the caulk comes through a little bit. You can just wipe that up with a wet paper towel. Takes it right off. Same thing on this side. This exterior latex caulk is going to really help to seal up the bat house. The screws and the caulk together, along with the cedar and the exterior grade plywood, this bat house is going to last 20 years. Now that you have the bat house put together, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put on the roof. The roof needs to be on a slant, and we've kept it all aligned so that we're ready to do that. But first, we need to put on some caulk. Then the roof goes on. Flip it over, we're going to attach the roof to the back. And we've got a finished bat house. What we've got done here is we have a bat house made out of cedar, exterior grade plywood, exterior screws. We've got a plastic that's going to last for a long time, and we also have exterior latex caulk as well. So what we've made is a bat house that's going to last 20 years. What you want to do next is you can paint this bat house. You could also leave it this natural color. You could paint it the same color as your house. You could also put tiles on it or even shingles on it as well. You put this bat house about 15 feet off the ground, preferably on a pole or the side of a building. Now you're going to want to build this bat house at home, and this is exactly the way that you do it. Let's go check out some successful bat houses. Bat houses work best if placed on a pole or the side of a building. They should be mounted about 15 feet off the ground, facing an open, sunny location. Bat houses can be painted the same color as the building. Use a non-toxic latex paint. You can check bat houses during the day with a strong flashlight. Bats exit the bat house about 15 minutes after sunset.